hard
I
for
love.
me to ask, might be hard for you to answer. I apologize. One of the things, so first of all, I just want to thank you for all that you've said, both of you. I've learned so much and I understand so much more. And to do it in this kind of a beautiful, safe place, which I didn't know what I was coming into. I come from a lot of fear to even come into the West Bank. So I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted to be welcomed so beautifully. I'm delighted to feel so safe and to meet people that are so delightful. Like, you're talking about hard things, but your hearts are like so available and lovely. So thank you for that. And there's one word that you keep saying that is just ripping me apart inside. Every time you say it, I cringe.
I can't hear what you said.
There's one word that when it's said, I have such a hard time with it, and it's the word genocide. And I wonder, because you were talking about the need to see distinctions. Do you see a distinction between the Nazis saying, we're killing all the Jews, and we're going to round them up, and we're going to stick them here and shove them in ovens? That is my picture of what genocide means. And I totally hear you that the life of the Palestinians has been made intentionally difficult by actions that the Israeli government has taken. And they're, me, as an American Jew who cares deeply about Israel and wants Israel to be a light unto the nations. I mean, I'm like, how can you do something so stupid as to, take over this hill and build a huge settlement and military base the year after you signed a peace treaty? Like, that makes no sense to me, right? But I still don't think it's genocide. It's such a loaded word.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you see a distinction.
I'm sorry, and I completely understand. For me, it's the way you relate to the word. Before you, it's completely connected to to what happened in the Holocaust. But for me, what the Turks have done with the Armenians, it's a genocide. 2 million people were killed. But even if you ask me what a word genocide in relation to Gaza, it's ongoing since 17 years. The cut off electricity is a genocide. The cut off food and water is genocide. For me, it doesn't matter. If you kill one person, you've killed the humanity. For me, if you want to look at it statistically and numbers, 50,000 people were killed. Shall we wait and, they're not a million yet, they're not 2 million yet, so it's not a genocide. For me, the whole system that Israel is creating around Gaza is a genocide. Seeing, people dying of fear is a genocide. Women not being able to find their dignity kits is a genocide. Old men and women not being able to find their medications is a genocide. For me, it's not the word genocide. Ibadah in Arabic, it's called ibadah. Maybe it's more meaningful even. Ibadah. When you want, it's like, they cut off everything, to make people under the limit of
by intention.
humanity. By intention. By intention.
And maybe like in the terms of today, like we are in 2025, and like today the progress of the technology and the progress of all these words يعني حطم الأرقام القياسية.
Yeah.
And it still happens. Yeah, as Zaid says, like it's interpretation of ourselves by this
Yeah.
word.
And I understand because because I also lost trust in what I have considered Israeli brothers and sisters, dear friends that we challenged things together. They disappeared after the war. Some of them went back to the army even. Some of them stayed who they are. But that's why I went to Auschwitz again this year. And I asked to go. I said, I am going because I still want to revisit the peacemaker I have inside. I wanted to remind myself, although it was challenging and a very crucial time to sleep in the children's barracks, to meditate under the snow in Poland and chanting names. We chanted, thousands and thousands of names, people, spirits that need to be heard, So this was challenging for me, and I remember, and maybe I'll remind Elias of that, in my visit to Auschwitz in 2014, 12, مظبوط 12, we were in the children's barracks, I believe. No, in the starving chamber, and I after I've seen the belongings of people, the hair, like I'm very sensitive, so I felt very overwhelmed, and I just wanted to leave, to leave the room. So I went from the back door, and it was when I've seen a big watching tower and electrical fences, and that was the moment I have collapsed. I collapsed completely, because I am used to see electrical fences and watching towers every day. And I'm in Auschwitz, and I'm like, what?
Wow.
This year I was in the starvation chamber, and I've seen
ايش هذا الشامبر؟
كانوا يجوعوا فيها ما يطعموهمش الناس، يعني التجويع
في غزة؟
في أوشفيتس.
في أوشفيتس.
Starvation. I know there's a crematory where they burn them.
But now which country? There's one of the chambers that renovated have monuments and photos of kids that was starving at that time. I ran out of the room.
Where is it?
In Auschwitz.
So they starved in the camps. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I ran out of the room. I couldn't take it because we now see kids
People
dying
starve.
of hunger and they become like skeletons. This is why I need to pray for I need to pray for Israelis to wake up from this coma. They're choosing their dictators, people who are not the worst representatives.
I'm with you on that.
Oh.
Yes, I'm going to push a little far. Thank you so much for being willing to talk to me about this.
No,
This means so much to me. I can't even tell you. Because it's really hard to. I don't know. The understanding that I've been carrying, which I'm asking you to clarify for me, is that so much of the hardship in Gaza was created by Hamas, not by Israel. That Hamas has so many resources and they're not letting the people have them. That Hamas is putting the people in the way of the rockets and bullets because they're putting their armaments underneath the schools and the hospitals. That Hamas is the one using the Palestinian people as human shields. And that Hamas is really the ones that are keeping the Palestinian people in Gaza in misery. And I need to understand if that's not true.
I pray that we will reach to a point where, because sometimes we want also, when our belief system is shaken, we want to protect ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe when it's shaken, it's time to say, okay, let me explore it more and let me say less of Hamas, and go back to the root of the whole thing. While 75% of the population in Gaza are refugees themselves from neighboring villages, you know. Say Hamas and Israel, it's also time to say, we want good leaders
Yes.
that relate to the pain of those people,
Yes.
that give those Palestinians in Gaza their dignity back as a human beings. Unfortunately, and surprisingly, maybe many of you don't know, 25% of the people of Gaza voted for Hamas in 2008.
25%.
75% of the voters are people from the West Bank. From the minority of the Christian population, 75% voted for Hamas. It wasn't choosing Hamas. It was twisting the arm of Fatah that came for a reason, bringing us statehood and independency, and then they were busy with the corruption, and in 2008 people wanted to tell Fatah, that's it.
Wow.
But the Gazans paid the price because Hamas is located in Gaza. But the majority of the people of Gaza have never voted for Hamas.
So
It's very interesting to know, yes.
So West
Yes.
Bank, the people here voted
Yes,
for?
yes, yes. Many Christians around the town here voted for Hamas. It's not about believing in their ideology, but choosing something different than the PLO. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.